Hi everyone, I'm Dafa from Indian News Desk, and today we have a very special guest with us. Someone who has traveled across the continents, not by aeroplane, not by car, but by bicycle. He started his journey from Germany across the continents to Jakarta. And today we have a very special guest here. Please welcome Konstantin Zulske.
Hello!
Hi! Okay, so could you introduce yourself to our audience in Indonesia?
My name is Konstantin and I cycled 15,000 kilometers from Germany to India and then flown to Jakarta, and now from Jakarta to Bali I cycled another 2,000 kilometers.
Oh my god.
So yeah, a lot has happened to save soil, to spread the Save Soil movement.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
Sure. So, okay, why did you choose cycling among the other transportation? And then, could you tell us about the Save Soil campaign?
Sure. So I always liked cycling. Even back in school and university, I was always cycling 70, 60 kilometers a day to university and back. So I'm a cyclist by nature. I love doing that.
Okay.
So, and I studied soil science in university. So when this program was started, I was really happy because suddenly there was a movement which aligns with my interest. So I like cycling, I like saving soil, so that motivated me to do something crazy.
Yes, that really align both of them, like the cycling and then save soil.
It is.
Yeah.
And like a lot of times, like I talk to people about saving soil and they're all like, okay, yeah, this is important, we need to do something, and then they fall asleep. So this time, to really create a buzz around this, I decided to do something crazy.
That's really cool.
Cycling gets you some attention.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe to start this interview, I'm going to ask about your motivation. You have traveled thousands of kilometers across different countries. What is the biggest motivation behind this journey?
Saving soil, obviously. So the Save Soil movement was founded by Sadhguru and the Isha Foundation. Sadhguru is a yogi and mystic from India. He's mainly known for his transformative yoga and meditation programs, but we're also doing a lot of social and ecological outreach projects. The latest one is Save Soil.
Okay.
It's carried across the globe by 12 million volunteers. So I'm just one of them.
Okay.
And what we're trying to achieve is basically a policy change for soil policies, because United Nations scientists are alarmingly saying that 52% of the soil, the agriculturally usable soil on the planet, is degraded. That means irreversibly destroyed. That means we will produce 40% less food in the next 25 years. They say in 25 years from now on, 90% of the soil could be gone.
Yeah.
That has severe consequences for water shortages, loss of biodiversity, climate change, especially wars, migration, the livelihood of farmers. Everything in the ecology and economy is affected by soil degradation.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about it.
Sure.
Everybody talks about climate change and water scarcity. Nobody talks about soil. So that's what we're trying to change. We're trying to make it a famous topic and aim for a policy shift. This needs to happen on a government level.
Yes, that's really the motivation behind your journey, and especially because of that soil degradation, right? Maybe talk about like a personal things about your life. So I've seen your background as a musician as well. As both a musician and a traveler, does music play an important role in your journey?
Oh, it does. Wherever I cycle, I always wear headphones. I listen to a lot of Bob Dylan and artists that inspire me. I'm doing music as well in Germany. I'm doing street music, street performances.
All right.
I see a lot of Indonesians are doing that too. I'm doing it in Germany. I'm playing concerts there. So yeah, on my 15,000 kilometer journey, I always carried a guitar with me. This time I left it here because there was a lot of weight. But wherever I go, if I find a guitar, I need to play it. Somehow I'm made like that.
I see. So I am as cycling as well. Sometimes I feel bored. Sometimes I feel like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? And what usually goes through your mind while cycling alone for long distances?
That's a good question, because if you're cycling alone through vast landscapes where there's nothing happening much, everything is playing out in the mind. So you have to deal with a lot of bullshit, which you usually don't deal with in your mind. Usually you're distracted by your phone or social interactions. All of this you don't have when you're cycling out there in the wild. So in that sense, it was a very spiritual opportunity for me as well to go inwards and look at what is it that I desire, what is it that I don't want, what do I actually need in my life, what do I not need. This is a good opportunity to reflect when every day you're just out there on your own and you don't really have any distractions per se.
Yeah.
So a lot is going on my mind. Usually music.
Yeah. So I've heard some of your stories about your journey. Like one of them is when you are in Bosnia and Herzegovina. There is you are cycling alone in the really wide landscape, and then how do you stay motivated in that situation and mentally strong throughout this trip?
At that time in Bosnia there was a heat wave going on. It was like almost 45 degrees. It was just so hot. It was difficult to find water. But at that time, I keep my motivation step by step. Like I look at the landscape and look at the Google Maps, and I know, okay, within 1 day or 2 days, if I keep cycling strong, I will hit the coast, and then I can bathe in the ocean again.
Yes.
So at that point, that kept me motivated. At other points, other things like, okay, I have a host coming up, or somebody's gonna host me. I can eat this and that food.
Yeah.
I give little rewards to myself every day, and that keeps me up. That keeps me motivated. And the overall main motivation for me was back then it was to reach India, and now it was to reach Bali. So I have like a supreme goal that I want to reach, and to go there little by little incentives I give to myself.
Sure, like small goals is matter, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. For the next question is I'm going to ask about your experience in journey around the world. So which country has left the biggest impression on you so far?
For that, the biggest impression I would go with India, because India is huge. Like it's so diverse. It's a continent by itself. It feels like many countries packed in one country. So much cultural diversity, the diversity of food, clothing, and so many temples and different spiritualities. So it's really amazing to see how so many cultures can live with each other in such a grand sense of spirituality, which is very alive in this country, and not just as a religious process, but as a very deep seeking spirituality that is very active in the country. I've never seen that in any other country like that before.
So you really experience like the spirituality there.
You can really feel the energies at certain places. Temples which are very much kept alive with mantras and the yoga, the meditation. It's so active like nowhere else in the world. They have very, very powerfully consecrated energy spaces, which you can also find in Bali and other places around the world. But India is it's fantastic. It's
incomparable.
Everybody has to visit India, I would say, once in their lifetime.
Okay, so and another one is, what has been the toughest challenge during your tour?
The toughest challenge, actually, the first week of cycling from Jakarta to Bandung. That was pretty tough.
Really?
Because after I arrived in India, I was staying for half a year in the ashram. I was just focusing on my meditation, my yoga. I didn't do any cycling. And then after I reactivated my cycling when I came from Jakarta and cycled to Bandung, I was so out of shape. I didn't do anything in a long time. And then immediately I threw myself in the cold water of cycling that Puncak Pass from Jakarta to Bandung. And it was so hardcore. It was really...
You're going uphill, right, from Jakarta, and then you have to stay in Puncak before you go I was
really shredding my knees on that on that mountain. Before that, I arrived in Jakarta, and probably because I never ate any Indonesian food before, I had a very upset stomach also. But I had to get going, and I was cycling with a bad stomach. I had intense knee pain, and it just kept going uphill. I got really frustrated with the first week itself. That's really stressful. After that, it was Indonesia was really nice on me. Cycling the deserts of Iran was another thing. cycling Pakistan with so many police escorts who were always like observing me, taking care of me. That was difficult. The heat of southern India and Mediterranean Europe, running out of water, running out of food a few times. That's all past now, but the most recent, most biggest challenge was definitely
from
Indonesia.
Jakarta to Bandung.
Yeah.
You're coming from India to Jakarta. How was your first impression of Indonesia? What do you find most interesting about Indonesia people and culture?
When I arrived, actually, it was Eid Mubarak. That
okay.
day I arrived in Jakarta, and Jakarta was so empty. Nobody was here. And I was like, what is this? Like, I thought it's some mega city where it's so full.
Where are the people?
I just came from Mumbai, right? Like everything was. So I actually enjoyed it. Like empty streets, everybody was home in their home villages, in their hometowns. So nothing much was going on in Jakarta. It's not what I expected, but I was really enjoying that. That was my first impression, fireworks and all that. And then, when I started cycling, then everybody was so excited to see me. Indonesia is one country where I probably got yelled at most, but in a positive way, in a good way.
Yeah.
Everybody is yelling, like, Bule, mister, hey, mister.
Yeah.
Like 50 times a day.
So, you started your journey from Jakarta to Bandung at that Eid Mubarak, or you have spent like several days after Eid Mubarak?
I got here and then I had a bit of an upset stomach first for 1 week. I stayed in Jakarta for 1 week and then I started cycling to Depok, Bogor, and then from Bogor to Bandung via the Puncak Pass.
Have you had any memorable experience during your time in Indonesia?
So many.
Can you mention one of the most the memorable experience during your trip? Probably in your ride from Jakarta to Bandung or something like that. But your most memorable experience.
There was one when I cycled from Mount Bromo. I cycled down to Probolinggo.
Okay.
And the whole day on Mount Bromo was really something special because I've never seen a volcano that up close before, and it was such a special event for me. And I think it was a full moon as well. And the next day I was cycling down 40 kilometers from Bromo to Probolinggo, just downhill all the time. And the street was just so nice to just let myself roll. And I had this huge smile on my face because of the volcano or whatever I witnessed there. And then I went to the coastline. I saw the ocean there, and the moon was shining on the water.
Yes.
And then I went to some nature area. There were so many fireflies and the moon and just the whole experience. That day
That's amazing.
I'm still getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Right.
But there have been many days like this in Jakarta, in Indonesia, where I just felt so connected to nature, to the ocean, the jungle around me. I had a very good time with nature in Indonesia. People also.
How about the people?
Many great hosting experiences. The way that people hosted me, they made me food, and the way they greeted me at the schools and universities where I went to whenever I talked about safe soil. So hospitable, so friendly. Indonesians are very cute and very sweet. It's really something special to be here.
Talking about the food, what is your most favorite food? Favorite Indonesia food?
I'm a vegetarian by choice since 10 years by now. So that's something that I missed a little bit in Indonesia. Everything is with meat, especially beef and chicken. But there are really good vegetarian options. Gado-gado.
Gado-gado. I'm going to mention that.
I really love that. But most of all, I really enjoyed the fruits in Indonesia. They have amazing fruits, like you have this sirsak. Sirsak, I really like that. Right. It's hard to find it in other countries. Soursop. And this mangosteen. There's so many amazing fruits in this country. It's a tropical country, so you have a.
Have you tried passion fruit?
Passion fruit,
you have that. Okay, so do you have a message for viewers in Indonesia and the cycling community here?
So the main message is safe soil. So what I want everybody to know and take home from this interview is that soil is dying in the world. We're talking about soil extinction. So you might have heard about certain animals going extinct or certain plants going extinct. But what we're really saying here is soil going extinct, because in just the last 30 years, 30% of soil has gone extinct. It has gone degraded. You can't use it for anything anymore. You can't grow food on it. Carbon dioxide is going into the atmosphere because the soil is dying. Soil is losing its organic content all over the world. And that has a lot to do with unsustainable practices of agriculture. And so that has many, many ramifications, many effects on the ecosystem, on water scarcity, on food shortages, even on wars and migrations. The United Nations are saying that in 2050, which is just 24 years from now, there could be 1 billion refugees on the planet because soil is going away, no more food. And this is not a world in which anybody of us wants to live in. So it's the biggest disaster that right now happening on the world. That it's soil going extinct. So we want people to understand that, to make that the famous topic first of all. And once we understand that, we also want people to basically vote for politicians who take this seriously. And Save Soil has worked together very closely with the United Nations to propel sustainable soil policies. Politicians are aware of it. Save Soil made sure they're aware of it. Now we need a mass movement of people to stand up and really demand that this is what we want, because this is the biggest task of our generation. If we don't take it up, then who will? This really needs to happen, that people talk about it. You talk about it to your friends, to your parents. Visit safesoil.org. Make yourself familiar with the facts, what is happening in the world. I am seeing it every day when I'm cycling, how the leftover crops are being burned in Indonesia, how the rivers are depleting. Certain rivers in India, they have lost 40% of the water volume in the last 40 years. Just in another 60 years, many rivers will die out, even in tropical countries. It's a really big problem. So let's not take this lightly. Let's act on this. And everyone who is listening to this, 2 minutes a day, you can make some time for soil and post about it on social media. Talk about it to your friends. Just make this a famous topic. Soil has nurtured us all of its life. We can at least take 2 minutes a day. It's really not much time. We can do something for soil. Every one of us can do something for soil. That's the biggest request and the biggest message I have, and that's why I'm cycling.
That's really great. So I'm going to ask about what is the biggest life lesson have you learned from traveling across the world, from Germany, India, and then you go to Jakarta, and then you travel around Indonesia. What is the biggest lesson?
There have been so many lessons, but for me the biggest lesson, since it has also kind of been a spiritual pilgrimage, is the inward things that you go through. When you're cycling all on your own, you have not a lot of distractions, not a lot of social interactions. Traveling there, meeting with the locals, that is there. But most of the time, you're just cycling on an empty countryside road. That's like 90% of the cycling. So you reflect a lot about what's happening within you. And so there I've learned a lot about myself, actually, what I desire for in my life. What is it that I really want? And what is it that I don't really need in my life and that can be very easily eliminated? So that inward thing has happened. It has been a great opportunity for me to go inward. Now, if you ask me what's the biggest lesson in the outward world, in the material world, I think what I've seen from cycling a lot of countries, traveling a lot in the world, is that wherever you go in every country, human beings are the same anywhere. We don't need to make differences between us, whether you're a Muslim or Hindu, or whether you're from from Israel or Palestine, or whatever identifications you have. It's really not needed. It's sometimes needed on a political scale, but if that seeps down into your personality, it's a problem. Many people have warned me about going to Iran. They say, oh, it's a dangerous country, because they hear about it on the news. Because some politicians might mess things up. They think that people are like that as well. But there's really no need to make any judgment, to have any stereotype about any people in any country whatsoever. Because the more you travel, the more you'll realize people are just people.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own inner problems and their own inner struggles that they're going through. So for me, this whole thing of judging others,
Yeah.
that really went away with traveling.
Okay.
It
So
is-
that's really deep. That's really deep. And maybe it's this is the special question. Would you like to return to Indonesia again in the future?
Of course. If at all for the food, I would definitely come back.
Okay. Yeah, you have.
The amazing vegetarian and vegan food options that you have here, and amazing fruits.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of temples that I haven't visited yet that I want to see. A lot of volcanoes, so much nature that I hope Indonesian government will take some actions to preserve the nature, the incredible, beautiful nature that you have here in Indonesia. You have very rich soil, you have a lot of great nature. So I
Yeah.
want to see it. I want to see it getting conserved and protected. So I want to come back. Sure.
Thank you so much, Konstantin, for
Thank you.
sharing your journey and then your message today with us. And your story reminds us that travel is not only about the reaching the destination, but it's about courage, connection, and then we have to back to nature. Right? Thank you so much.
Safe soil. Thank you.
Safe soil.